Well, thank you very much, Governor, Mrs. Rauner, Chancellor, and all the members of the Lincoln Academy, and all of you for this honor. I do have prepared remarks. Some of you know that I tend every once in a while to wing it. Tonight is not going to be one of those nights. Number one, I'm on a clock, and number two, I want to make sure I don't leave anybody out. I must say, as a White Sox fan, I never thought I'd be following one of the greatest players in. And I'm gonna say at the beginning, I was going to talk about him during remarks. I'll say tonight, White Sox fans, Chicago fans, we're all in this room together, and we're all honoring Ryan. So thank you very much. And by the way, one final comment: it's nice to have you up here in the World Series after several years being there alone. I'm really humbled by this honor, and I'm going to kind of keep my remarks pretty short, but want to make sure I don't leave anything out. For the last 56 years, I've had the privilege of working side by side with four of my fellow honorees: Harrison Staines at IBM, Jim Holderman, who worked with me at the U.S. Attorney's Office, Eden Martin, my partner at Sidley and Austin, and of course Frank Clark, who was really my partner at Commonwealth Edison as well. In June of 1960, I graduated from the University of Illinois on Saturday and went to work on Monday. I know that's strange these days, but that's the way it happened back in 1960. I reported to work at IBM in the Phase 1 training program in downtown Chicago. I sat down next to another trainee who introduced himself as Harrison Staines, and we discussed that my mother knew his family. When I got home that night, I told my mother I was sitting next to Harrison, and she said, quote, "Make sure you sit next to him every day. He is smart." Since that day, I've been fortunate to associate with myself with people like Harrison, Judge Holderman, Eden, Frank, who are smart, ethical, and know the satisfaction of giving back. Many of those in this room I've worked with that are here today that have done the same thing. And I'm not going to mention, I'll mention Eden and I were partners. The people from Chicago Board of CBOE are here, and Sidley and Austin, and ComEd, and Greenberg Trug, and many others. So thank you very much for your support. I've had the pleasure also, in addition to this, of knowing Richard Driehaus personally and observing his as he made a difference in the lives of so many. And of course, we all have heard from Ryan, and I've said what I'm going to say about Ryan Sandberg. For me to be honored with these individuals is really a tremendous and incredible experience. Not only is it humbling, it's emotional. But it's especially emotional because, as many of you know, I grew up in Springfield, Illinois, until I was in 7th grade. And my hero in Springfield, no surprise, was Abraham Lincoln. From the age of 7, I always wanted to be a lawyer like Abraham Lincoln. I read everything I could about him, visited New Salem and his Springfield home on many occasions. I walked the Lincoln Trail in central Illinois and often remembered him at his final resting place. My desire to serve our nation is based on his example. So receiving this award, the Lincoln Award, is really very overwhelming to me, frankly. I must say that I'm going to tell one other story about living in Springfield and my mother. We walked the Lincoln Trail, which was from New Salem to Springfield, which Lincoln walked all the time. You always should listen to your mother. But this day I wasn't so sure. We're walking the Lincoln Trail, started out in New Salem. It's raining, it's cold, it's over 20 miles. Several Boy Scouts and I are walking together, and about halfway through, my mother showed up, and I thought, oh, she's here to take me home. She brings me cocoa. All of a sudden, she drives off. So I got home later that night, and I said, Mom, I thought you were going to pick me up. She said, Lincoln walked it, you walk it. So it's a special environment that we grew up in, and we all know what he meant. I want to just say personally thank you for so many people that are here tonight, my family. My sons Tom and Steve, Sam and Will are here. My daughter Jane is here. My daughter-in-law Laura is here. My granddaughters Elizabeth, Katie, Rebecca, and Caroline are here. Susanna and Sarah are here. My grandson Jack is away at school taking a final exam today. I guess that's a pretty good excuse. And my daughter-in-law, Annie, is with him to make sure he comes home for the summer. Their support and love for so many years has sustained me through life. Finally, I want to thank my wife, Honey, who is an incredible person, who is my role model as she is for so many others. She makes the world a better place every day, is a wonderful mother, a phenomenal lawyer, and the most trusted partner one could ever have. Thank you very much.